Here is a detailed story on Abraham Lincoln's journey from failure to success, which explores his life story, struggles and triumphs. This story aims to cover Lincoln's perseverance and ultimate success, providing insight into his character and leadership qualities. Abraham Lincoln, A Journey from Failure to Success. Introduction. Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, is widely regarded as one of the greatest leaders in world history. His life journey, marked by early failures, hardships, and obstacles, is a testament to the power of perseverance, resilience, and a deep commitment to personal growth. Lincoln's story is not just one of success but of triumph over adversity. Born into poverty, faced with personal and professional failures, and dealing with the divisions of a nation on the brink of civil war, Lincoln's eventual rise to the presidency and his leadership through the Civil War made him a symbol of hope and resilience. This story traces Abraham Lincoln's life from his humble beginnings, through his numerous failures, to his ultimate success as a political leader. His story is an inspiring narrative of overcoming setbacks and staying true to one's values. Lincoln's journey teaches us valuable lessons about leadership, determination, and the importance of maintaining one's integrity and vision despite overwhelming challenges. Birth and family background. Abraham Lincoln was born on February 12, 1809, in a log cabin on the frontier in Hardin County, now LaRue County, Kentucky. He was the second child of Thomas Lincoln and Nancy Hanks Lincoln. The family was poor, living in a harsh environment where daily survival was a struggle. Lincoln's early years were marked by frequent moves as the family sought better opportunities. The Lincolns lived in Indiana, Illinois, and Kentucky as Thomas, Lincoln's father, was often unable to provide consistent financial support. Lincoln's mother died when he was just 9 years old, leaving him with a sense of abandonment and a growing awareness of life's hardships. His father, a hard and uneducated man, was not an ideal role model. Nevertheless, Lincoln's stepmother, Sarah Bush Johnston, whom his father married when Abraham was 10, played a significant role in shaping his early years, encouraging him to read and write. Education and self-improvement. Despite the lack of formal schooling, Lincoln was a voracious reader. He attended school sporadically and never received more than a year of formal education. Nevertheless, he taught himself by reading books on law, history, literature, and philosophy. Lincoln had a natural aptitude for learning and an insatiable curiosity. This self-driven education helped him to develop strong reasoning and oratory skills, laying the foundation for his future political career. However, his early attempts to better himself were not without challenges. The lack of resources and the demands of farm life meant that Lincoln had to constantly struggle between his ambitions and the practicalities of his environment. His desire for education often conflicted with the need to work and support his family. First business failure. At the age of 21, Lincoln decided to strike out on his own and opened a store in New Salem, Illinois, with a partner named William F. Berry. Unfortunately, the store faced financial difficulties, and after a year, the business failed, leaving Lincoln deeply in debt. Lincoln was forced to work for several years to pay off the debts, which were a reminder of his early failure in business. The failure of his business venture was a blow to Lincoln's self-esteem, and it could have been a devastating setback. However, instead of succumbing to despair, Lincoln used this failure as a stepping stone toward his future. His experience with failure helped him learn valuable lessons about resilience, responsibility, and perseverance. Political failures. Lincoln's political career was fraught with early setbacks. In 1832, at the age of 23, Lincoln ran for the Illinois state legislature. Despite his ambition and strong beliefs, he was not elected. This failure could have easily led to a retreat from public life, but instead, Lincoln became more determined to continue in politics. He ran again for the state legislature in 1834 and was successful, but his political career remained tumultuous. Lincoln struggled to maintain a consistent position in politics, often changing parties and positions in response to the political dynamics of the time. His early years in politics were marked by a lack of influence and constant struggle to gain traction. Romantic disappointments. In addition to his professional setbacks, Lincoln also faced personal disappointments. He had a long-standing romantic attachment to Anne Rutledge, a young woman in New Salem. However, Rutledge died unexpectedly, which left Lincoln heartbroken. He was deeply affected by her death, and it led to a period of deep depression. For a time, Lincoln even contemplated suicide. Yet, through his emotional turmoil, he found solace in his work and began to mature as a person, gaining wisdom that would serve him well in the future. Rise to political prominence. Despite his early setbacks, Lincoln continued to rise in the political world. He was elected to the Illinois state legislature once again, this time as a member of the Whig Party, and he was later appointed as a U.S. congressman in 1847. His time in Congress, however, was not particularly distinguished, and he struggled to make a significant impact. He was largely sidelined by the political establishment, and many of his efforts were in vain. However, it was during this period that Lincoln began to crystallize his political philosophy and his views on slavery and human rights. His opposition to the Mexican-American War and his growing stance against slavery earned him a reputation as a principled leader who was not afraid to speak out against injustice. The Lincoln-Douglas debates. One of the most important events in Lincoln's political journey was his involvement in the Lincoln-Douglas debates of 1858. In these debates, Lincoln faced off against the powerful Illinois Senator Stephen A. Douglas in a series of 7 public debates. Although Lincoln did not win the Senate seat, the debates propelled him into the national spotlight. Lincoln's eloquence, clarity, and moral stance on slavery impressed many, and his reputation grew throughout the country. His articulation of the principles of equality and democracy resonated deeply with the American public, and he began to be recognized as a leader capable of tackling the nation's most pressing issue, slavery. The election of 1860. In 1860, Lincoln was elected the 16th President of the United States. His victory came after a bitterly contested election, and it was clear that his presidency would not be a simple one. The country was divided over the issue of slavery, and Lincoln faced enormous pressure to find a solution to the growing crisis. His election led to the secession of Southern states, and the country was plunged into a civil war that would last for 4 years. Lincoln, who had little military experience, had to navigate not only the military challenges of the war but also the political and social divisions that threatened to tear the country apart. Leadership during the Civil War. The Civil War tested Lincoln's resolve and leadership. He faced criticism from all sides: his opponents in the South, his fellow Republicans, and even members of his own cabinet. Yet, through it all, Lincoln remained steadfast in his belief that the Union must be preserved at all costs. One of Lincoln's greatest achievements during the war was the issuance of the Emancipation Proclamation in 1863. This executive order, which declared the freedom of all slaves in Confederate-held territory, marked a turning point in the war and in the nation's moral conscience. The proclamation made the abolition of slavery a central goal of the Union's war effort and galvanized support for the war among abolitionists and anti-slavery advocates. Gettysburg Address. In 1863, Lincoln delivered the Gettysburg Address, a brief but powerful speech that redefined the purpose of the Civil War. In it, Lincoln articulated the vision of a nation conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. His words inspired the nation and provided a moral foundation for the war effort, emphasizing the importance of unity and equality. The end of the Civil War. After 4 years of brutal conflict, the Civil War finally ended in 1865 with the surrender of Confederate forces at Appomattox Courthouse. Lincoln's leadership during this period was instrumental in the Union's victory, and his ability to navigate the complexities of war and politics saved the United States from fragmentation. However, Lincoln's victory came at a tremendous cost. The war had left the country deeply scarred, and Lincoln was determined to heal the wounds of war and rebuild the nation. He pushed for a policy of reconciliation and was dedicated to ensuring the fair treatment of the Southern states in the post-war era. Assassination and immortal legacy. Tragically, just days after the end of the war, on April 14, 1865, Lincoln was assassinated by John Wilkes Booth while attending a play at Ford's Theater in Washington, D.C. Lincoln's death shocked the nation, and his legacy was solidified as a martyr for freedom and equality. Lincoln's leadership, courage, and commitment to preserving the Union have made him an enduring symbol of hope and resilience. His ability to navigate personal and professional failures and rise to the occasion in the face of national crisis is a testament to his strength of character. Conclusion: Abraham Lincoln's journey from failure to success is one of the most inspiring stories in history. His life was filled with setbacks, hardships, and personal struggles. But through it all, he remained committed to his principles and never gave up on his dreams. Lincoln's rise from a poor, uneducated boy to the President of the United States, his leadership during the Civil War, and his vision of a united and just nation are a testament to the power of perseverance, integrity, and vision. Lincoln's life teaches us that failure is not the end but a stepping stone to greater achievements. His story is a reminder that through determination, resilience, and faith in one's purpose, even the greatest challenges can be overcome and success can be achieved. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and found it helpful. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. For more great content, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update. Your support means the world to me. Also, feel free to comment below with any thoughts or questions, and I'll be sure to respond. Until next time, take care and keep learning.